All right, you see the beautiful shirt right there. You see the, the nice chain going on right there. You see all the swag on the screen, and that is my man Grayson Waller. He's from Australia. He's down there in Orlando. I'm sure he's making all the ladies go crazy. My sister lives in Orlando, so stay away from her. But everybody else, you got it.
What's her name again? Hold on.
She's actually an attorney, so if you get in trouble, you could probably give her a call.
Hey, I love smart women, brother. I love smart women. Hey.
Well, Grayson Waller's here with us on Culture State. Thank you so much for joining us, man. And you guys are going to come up here to Charlotte, NXT Vengeance Day, Saturday, February the 4th. And I know it's the first time since the pandemic you guys are going to head out of Orlando for a big premium live event. How excited are you for that?
Mate, I'm buzzing. Like, as much as I love performing here in front of the same 300 sweaty, smelly dudes, I'm ready to go back out on the road, lad. Like, and Charlotte is such like a wrestling hotbed. Like, you think of like over history, like so many big stars have wrestled there, and now they're going to get a real star in Grayson Waller. And I'm excited for NXT to show what we do to like the rest of the country, because I think the people here are lucky. Every week they get to come here and they get to see the future of WWE. They get to see some of the biggest stars every week. But now the rest of the country is going to find out how good we are.
Let me add on to that, because you played Ric Flair in Young Rock 2 years ago, right? So that's Ric Flair's city. So have you called Ric Flair, get some tips, like where should I go out, where should I get the drinks, that type of thing? Like, where have you gotten a chance to call him to see what you should do in Charlotte?
Man, I will. I've never had the opportunity to meet Rick yet, which frustrates me because I'm a huge Flair fan, and I got to put on the robe for one day only. But funny story for you. You're welcome. The only time I met him was WrestleMania Backlash, 2021, and I was dressed as a zombie because there was a zombie lumberjack match, and I didn't go up and say hello because I was like, I can't have the first time I meet Ric Flair to be dressed as a zombie with blood coming out of my mouth. I got like my skin hanging. I was like, I can't go up and go, hey, Rick, I played you on a show. He couldn't have cared less. So, but I'm gonna hit him up. There's like a few people I want to have a beer with. Ric Flair's like right there, lad.
For sure.
Hey, likewise, when you set that up, you call us because we'll be there too.
Okay.
That's
on
our bucket list.
Chris will bring his sister. We're gonna have a great time. I can't wait.
Yes, sir.
All right. So when Charlotte, when you get there, what should people expect when Vengeance Day rolls around from you?
From me? Well, Tuesday night, New Year's Eve, or NXT, I'm going to win the NXT Championship. So I'm walking into that event as the champion, which means I'm the guy. I'm on the front of the poster. People are going to pay money to come and see me. And trust me, when you pay money to see Grayson Waller, I'm going to put on a show. And it doesn't matter who's in front of me. I'll defend that championship on that show. And there's some really talented guys here. You put me up against Carmelo Hayes, oh, that'd be a lot of fun. You put me against Tony D. You put me against Dijak. Like, there's so many guys here who we can put on a big show together in Charlotte, North Carolina. And who knows who it can be, but I'm going to have that belt around my shoulder for sure.
Absolutely. Well, you have a program right now with Bron Breakker. That's the guy that you're chasing. And what if it's a rematch with Bron Breakker? So, I mean, are you doing to completely destroy him on Tuesday? What's happening with that?
Look, I know Bron's had that championship for a long time, but if I beat Bron Breakker, I'm done. I'm sick of him being the face of this brand for so long. He's on every poster, every card, all those things. If he loses to me, he's done. And that's the thing. I'm the champion. I get to decide. I get to choose. Hey, Shawn, no. Hey, Shawn, find someone else. Let Bron go do something else. Call him up. Everyone wants that anyway. Get rid of him, because once I take that championship, this is my place. And I'm not going near Bron again.
All right. You mentioned earlier how you're showing NXT. This is the future of WWE. By the way you're talking, it sounds like you're the now of WWE. Am I wrong by saying that?
You're not wrong, and I'm not going to steal from Austin Theory because I know he's really throwing that brand around right now, saying he's the now, but I am. If you put me on the main roster today, I'm ready to go. A lot of people here are the future. There's people here who are not on television yet who are really, really good at what they do already, and they are the future. But for guys like me, guys like Mello, I think there's a few others too, like, we're ready to go, and we're killing it down here. We're putting this brand on our back, but the moment they need us somewhere else, we're ready to go.
I want to ask you more about that too, because the pandemic really did kind of hinder things and maybe even hindered the experience of NXT and how hot it was going across the country. I know you mentioned about, staying in Orlando and all that, and you have a loyal fan base down there. But when it comes to like going on the road, you don't seem like you're the type of dude that's kind of nervous. But are there a little bit of butterflies, maybe sometimes thinking about the fact that, oh man, this is going to be a large arena. This isn't a studio with 300 people. We're going to be in a large, arena where the Charlotte Hornets play, and we're going to start doing that around the country now.
Well, let's be real. Like, who play besides like the ball? Like Charlotte Hornets have no one anyway. They got no superstars, so I'm not stressed about the Charlotte Hornets playing anyway. That team sucks.
Michael Jordan owns it. Michael Jordan owns it.
Congrats, he owns it. He's not
LaMelo
playing
Ball.
for them, brother.
LaMelo Ball.
I do like LaMelo, but I think it was wild when we did Stand and Deliver last year. You know, there was guys like Tony and Bron who had only wrestled in front of the NXT audience in Florida, and then they go to Stand and Deliver. There's this huge crowd. They all put on a show though. And I think I'm ready to do the same thing. And the thing is, I'm pretty experienced. People don't know this, but I've been wrestling like 7 years.
Yeah.
So I haven't been on those kind of levels, but I've been a Raw. I did main event recently in front of a big crowd there in Albany. Like, I'm used to it, and I thrive on it. That energy, like hearing those people hate me, like I love it. There's nothing more. So the more people you put, the better show I'm going to put on because I thrive off that.
All right, you mentioned Shawn Michaels earlier. How much of an influence has he had on your career since you've gotten to NXT?
Shawn's a huge influence on me. I think Shawn is hands down one of the best of all time. I think everyone knows that, and in so many ways. Like, he was an incredible performer, great athlete, put a microphone in his hands. He was dangerous. He was a showman too, though. You know, they called him Mr. Wrestlemania because every time it mattered, he showed up. When the lights were brightest, Shawn Michaels was at his best. And that's the kind of guy, like, I try and emulate myself after. Because when those lights are bright, so next Tuesday, the main event on USA, that's the brightest lights. That's the time for me to show out. And that's the kind of thing that Shawn gives us, you know. He's given a lot of us huge opportunities when maybe we were not ready, but he put trust in us for that. And we say thank you by going out and killing it. And that's the plan. Like, I can't say enough good things about Shawn.
Let me ask you about this. Like, you're one of a bunch, I should say, of Australian superstars just in wrestling that's starting to really pop right now. What is it about that Australian scene that's been able to cultivate all these stars? And of course, you're one of the next ones up.
Well, I think for a long time, the Australian scene has been incredible. And I think the people who know, but we're so far away, we don't get the eyes on us. And I look at the rest of the world, the UK gutted. Everyone that's good, gone. Mm-hmm. American Indies, man, have you seen some of these American Indies lately? Come on, man. Gutted. They're all gone. And then now you have these Australians, and our country is fresh. Yeah. All the good guys are still there. You have a few, Aussie Open, Robbie Eagles. Yep. You know, you have people moving around type of thing, but there's more who are sitting there who have so much talent and so much to offer, but they just haven't been given the eyes yet, and they haven't been given the platform. But that is going to happen, and you're going to keep seeing it because you see Rhea kill it every week. Yeah, Rhea's as good as it gets. You see me every week killing it. You see Indy Hartwell, she's great. You know, you have all these Australians succeeding. We just need to bring more in now.
I feel like it's kind of like that outside of wrestling, though. I feel like it's like that in sports in general because, like, in basketball, you're seeing a lot more Australian guys. Like, even with Duke, they have Tyrese Proctor coming up. They had Jack White a few years ago, and then, of course, like, he's in the NBA doing his thing. You have a few more Australian guys that's in the NFL, things like that. Like, it feels like just athletically in general, there's a big surge amongst Australians coming here to the United States and succeeding.
Yeah, I think a great example is Jordan Mailata. I'm a big Philly Eagles fan.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That dude is a beast. And the thing is, Australia, I think, has hands down the best athletes in the world. We're only a small country. Our population is small, but damn, we compete. Like, considering how many less people we have, we compete. And the problem is, you're down there, no one's watching. Like, you can be big in Australia, you come here, and literally no one knows who you are. Yeah. So I love seeing these guys take a chance. You see these athletes leaving their sport. They might be the best in the sport, but they leave and they go and make their name somewhere else because that's what you have to do, unfortunately. You have to come to America to be someone. Just because the scene down there is too small. But every time they come, you can see the talent that's there. So I just hope more Australians keep doing it. And especially like college football, every punter is Australian, lad. Every single punter is Australian. And there's a reason for that. And the crazy thing is they're like the guys who play all the rules who weren't good enough to make teams. But damn, they can kick far. Then they go over here and they're the best punter in college football.
Yeah, in Charlotte, there's Johnny Hecker right there.
Yeah, Johnny Hecker.
I can't remember the one guy did a drop punt once, and people were freaking out like it was the most insane thing ever. But it's like they do that every game, and it's literally nothing. But because obviously we have different sports, you're seeing things differently.
Yeah. All right, you mentioned about getting to the United States to get noticed. when you were starting off wrestling, was your goal to get to the U.S. or maybe was it to go to Japan, go to Europe? What was your goal when you started wrestling?
Originally, my goal was just to the company I work for, PWA, my goal was to get on shows. I'm a big short-term goal guy. Obviously, I have thoughts about where I'm going to go, but I have short-term goals and I achieve them. I knock them off, bang, bang, bang. I don't stop. I don't want to be one of those people who has this 2023, here's my goal list, and they're not achievable. I want to have things that are achievable right now, and that's kind of how I do it. But then when things started taking off, my goal was always America and was always WWE. I think I'm a WWE-style wrestler. I had opportunities with New Japan, but that wasn't for me. I respect the guys that have gone there, and I have friends who are there right now. But I think this is for me. I'm an entertainer. Damn, I'm good in the ring, but I love entertaining, and I think that's what sets apart WWE from other places. Is we're an entertainment brand. So this was always my goal, and this is where I knew I needed to go to make sure people knew my name.
Have you had a moment, where you've been like, man, I'm starting to make it, where you're out and about somewhere, and people are like, yo, Grayson Waller, let's take some pictures. You're like, nah, you're not good enough to take a picture with me. Have you had that moment yet?
It happens a little bit, especially in Orlando, because we do all the shows here. A lot of people kind of know us. I'll be out at Disney or Universal, and they kind of say, what's up or whatever. But for me, man, I don't mess with fans. I'm not here to have people like me. I'm not signing autographs, kissing babies, all that kind of stuff. But especially in Orlando, but now it's a stage where I think you go up to the main roster. I did Raw a few times, things like that, and you see the reactions that those guys get, and it's a different level. It is a completely different animal of how people know you and how bad they want to meet you, get your autograph, those kinds of things, and even the impact you can have on kids and those type of things. It's a different level. So I always put in the back of my mind, you don't want to get caught up here and think you're a star. You don't want to get caught up in NXT and think you're the best thing here, because you go there, you are literally no one. And so I'm always realistic with myself. I'm always honest. I'm always realistic. I'm the biggest star in NXT right now, but I'm not where I want to be yet.
All right, so other than winning the NXT Championship, which you have a chance for this Tuesday against Bron Breakker, what's the next short-term goal?
The next short-term goal is to main event Stand Deliver. That is the biggest event of the year. It's in the Crypto.com arena. It's wild that I even have the opportunity to perform in that place. You think of all the things that happen there, type of thing. Mm-hmm. We here?
Yeah, we're here.
That's all right. We got you.
We got these idiot production guys next door making noise. What are they doing? I'm trying to do an interview. Sorry, lads. But basically, I was saying, I'm going to main event Stand Deliver, the biggest show of the year. Grayson Waller, NXT champion, face on the poster, Wrestlemania weekend. Don't worry about Wrestlemania. Be talking about Stand Deliver and me.
All right. Here's my final question. We're also getting ready for Vengeance Day. We're excited about it because NXT is coming to North Carolina. Who is your favorite wrestler from the state of North Carolina that you've ever watched?
Bro, you put me on the spot here because, for me as an Australian, for a long time, everywhere in America was the same place.
I got you. Yeah.
You give me a few. You give me a few, and I'll pick one. Just make my life easy. Don't embarrass me here in front of the Charlotte.
I got you. Okay? I got you. So there's a lot out there. So Ric Flair claims to be from North Carolina. He's really from Minnesota, but North Carolina is his place. Then you have guys like Cedric Alexander, who's from North Carolina. You have guys like Cameron Grimes, who's from North Carolina. Andre Chase, who's from North Carolina.
Bro, Andre Chase hates me because I wear this. I wear my Duke NBA jersey here all the time, and he's a big North Carolina
huge Carolina fan.
Yeah,
he hates it when I wear that jersey. Yeah. But dude, Duke's great, man. I love Duke. You got to think some of the best players of all time have come from Duke. So I'm not saying Andre Chase's name, that's for sure. Listen,
we're gonna cut that part out because where we're at right now, we are in the city that Duke is in, but Carolina is close by. Mm-hmm. And NC State is close by. And so people around here are probably going to start buying the tickets just to boo you because of that.
I hope so. You can call me the Grayson Allen of NXT. We're both Graysons. We got great names. And guess what? I'll trip you over and spit on you too, lad. I couldn't care less. Christian Leitner? Come on, man. They're going to make a documentary, I Hate Grayson Waller, and it's going to be really good too. I vibe bigger with Duke than I do North Carolina. Jordan's overrated anyway. Man, I'll tell Andre Chase to his face too.
Ticket sold. You just sold some tickets around here.
There it is. My final thing, you did not react well when Chris said Cameron Grimes. By the way, Chris actually used to be an independent wrestler here in the state of North Carolina. Cameron Grimes is one of his trainers, just to let you know that.
Really? Okay. Well, me and Cameron Grimes, he beat me up in a ladder match. I can't get along with that guy. You know what I mean? it's not because he's from North Carolina. It's not because of that.
Yeah.
It's because he's a redneck. It's a different thing.
He is.
See,
but he's a good guy. He's a good guy. Well, NXT Vengeance Day. I love the face. NXT Vengeance Day, February 4th, Charlotte. Grayson Waller is going to be there. So if you are anti-Duke, you can buy a ticket just to boo this guy. If you love Duke,
I'm going to wear a Grayson Allen jersey into the arena. I'm going to tell you right now.
Do it.
You should.
I'm going to.
You absolutely should.
Yeah. And what are you going to do? What are you going to do? What are they going to do? They ain't going to do nothing, man. Come on.
They're probably going to boo, but you should do the Grayson Allen jersey underneath the Ric Flair robe. That'll be amazing.
Woo!
Take it off, Grayson Allen. Boom.
Hey, that's not a bad idea. That is not a bad idea.
I'll send the invoice later on.
Okay, let me know, man. Trust me, I got enough cash. I ain't stressed.
Grayson Waller joining us right here on Culture State. Thank you so much, man. We appreciate it.
Appreciate it, boys. See you later.